Hello. Hi, guys. This is Mrs.Z. So we are working on grade 5, mission 3, lesson 16. So it says this problem set. Draw the following ribbons. When finished, compare your work to your partner's. One ribbon, the piece shown below, is only 1/3 of a whole. 1/3 of a whole. So if this is just 1/3, then I need 2 more thirds in order to show whole. So I'm going to go, you see, it's about 4 centimeters. So I'm going to go, so it's going to go till here. Okay. So 1/3, 1 more third, and 1 more third makes 3/3, which is a whole. 1 whole equals 3/3. And that's how you answered the A. That was A. Okay. Next. One ribbon. The piece shown below represents 4/5 of a whole. So 4 out of 5 pieces that makes a whole. So this requires a little bit thinking about how many pieces represents this part. So it says 4 pieces. So if I divide equally into 4, so you can divide into half, and again each half in a half, and we will have 4 pieces, 4 equivalent pieces. So if this is 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, I have here 4/5. So I'm missing one part, which is 1/5. In order to have a whole, I need one more piece, one more 5th. So now this would be the whole, and that would be 5/5. Represent 5/5. This ribbon was missing 1/5 to have a whole. Next, 2 ribbons. 2 ribbons, A and ribbon B. 1/3 of A is equal to all B. So if you think about, let's see, have A to be 6 centimeters. So if that represents a whole, so that's A. This is A. And then on 1/3 of A is equal to B. So 1/3, 1/3, 1 out of 3 pieces would be B. So I'm cutting this into 3 pieces, and this should be the 1/3 of A is B. Because if I cut this into 3 pieces, which will be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 of A is B. Okay. Next, 3 ribbons. They should have C, D, and E. C, D, and E. Okay. Let's label them. If we're going to label them C, D, E. Okay, so let's read the clues. C is a half of the length of D, and E is twice as long as D. So this matter say is start with D, because if we guess that D is, let's see, 4 centimeters. So if this is D, the C is a half the length of D. So it's about till here. So C is going to be half of D. Okay, so that's a C. And then E is twice as long as D. So twice as long as D. So if it's same as like D, that would be the same pieces, rectangular pieces, but it's twice as long. So we're gonna do 2 more. Oops. So then this is twice as long as D, and this is half of a D. Sounds good. So it's, if we can even label like 2 times D, this is 2 times D, and this is half of D, and this is D. Okay, that sounds right. Okay, that would be D. Let's now talk about problems that we have. It says half of number 2, half of a rubber piece of wire is equal to 2/3 of Maria. So if you think about this, let's see if this is if this is Robert's. Let's see. We have Robert to be this big. So half of it, half of Robert. This is half of Robert. Is 2/3 of Maria. So if this is 2/3, I'm going to cut in half. So if this is 2/3 of Maria, this is Maria, and this is Robert. Okay, so 2/3 of Maria, half of Robert's is 2/3 of Maria. So that would be it. And then if I change the pieces in, so it's about this much is the total length of their wires is 10 feet. So all this, Robert's and Maria's, is 10 feet. How much longer is Robert's wire than Maria's wire? So this is Maria's, and this is Robert's. So this here represents longer. This much is longer. So if we think about how many pieces are there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. They say that all these pieces will equal to 10 feet. So we think about 10 feet divided into Robert pieces and Maria's. That means 7 divided in 7 pieces. So that would be 10 sevenths will be each piece. 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths, 10 sevenths. So longer, how much the Robert is longer than Maria is this 10 sevenths. That's how much longer is Robert piece then. If they're the same, there will be that part. But he is longer, so he is longer 10 sevenths feet. So how much longer wires than Maria? Robert's wire is along 10 7 feet longer than Maria's. Okay. Robert's wire is 10 7 feet longer than Maria. We also can change these 10 7 into 1 whole and 3 7 in a case that U is required. 10 7 has in there 7 7 plus 3 7, which will make 1 whole and 3 7. 1 whole and 3 7 feet longer. Okay, we're going to move to the next one to represent half of Sarah wire is equal to 2/5 of Daniel's. Chris has 3 times as much as Sarah. In all, their wire measures 6 feet. How long is Sarah wire in feet? How long is Sarah wire in feet? That is our next question. I'm gonna enlarge a little bit. Okay, I think that would be perfect. Okay, so let's represent that half of Sarah wire is equal to 2/5 of Daniel's. 2/5 of Daniel's. So 2 to 5 pieces. Okay, so let's see. If I make Daniel's first, that would be 5/5. So I'm going to make so this should be Daniel. Daniel is half of Sarah wire is equal to 2/5 of Daniel's. 2/5 of Daniel's are this much. So the half of Sarah is 2/5 of Daniel's. So Sarah, this one is half of hers. Represents 2 pieces of Daniel's. So if this is half of Sarah, she needs one more half. So she would be a 4. Actually, her whole is 4/5 of Daniel's, or 4 pieces of Daniel's. So this is Sarah. Okay, and this is Daniel. Yeah. Okay, we'll make equivalent pieces. Now, Chris is 3 times as much as Sarah. So if Sarah is from here to here, so that's the one time Sarah. So Chris is 1 time Sarah, but says 3 times. So 1 time Sarah plus 1 more, and plus 1 more. So that will be 3 times. Yes, Sarah. Okay. But Sarah has 4 pieces, so we have to represent equivalent, make equivalent pieces. So all the pieces for each will be equivalent. I can use the centimeters measure. Okay. So now they said in all, their wire measures 6 feet. So all this, Chris pieces 3 times as much as Sarah, Daniel's, and Sarah, they all are 6 feet. 6 feet. So we count how many pieces we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're 21 equivalent pieces. So so that means we can say, okay, we need divide 6 feet, divide into 21 pieces. So we will know how much is 1 piece. So 6 divided into 21, 6 21s is how much is 1 piece. So 6 21s, 6 21s, 6 21s. Okay, 6 21, 6. 6. This is important because now when we add pieces 6 21s, we can find how much is really Sarah, how much is Daniel, or how much is really Chris. If we add these 6 21s together. The question is how long is Sarah wire in feet? So what that shows us, we needed to add 6 21s plus 6 21s plus 6 21s plus 6 21s. So the pieces are the same size, 21s. So all we need is we add the top. 4 times 6 is 24 21s. So we can say that Sarah wire is long 24 21 feet. or we can decompose 24 21s into 21 21s plus 3 21s. So this will make the whole and the left 3 21s. So that would be finally 1 whole and 3 21s. So we can write our answer. How long is Sarah's wire in feet? Sarah's wire is long 24 21's feet, or 1 feet and 3 21's off next foot. Okay, so this will be a question number 3 in that set problem. Okay, so we did number 2, number 3, let's see, and we did 1 ABC. Okay. So, thank you for listening.